Hey guys, it's TacKnives here. Today we're going to talk about how to take apart an OTF knife, put it back together, and then maintain an OTF knife. A lot of times we have customers telling us, "Oh, my knife is broken. It's not firing well. It's not deploying well," and a lot of times it's just because junk on the blade and dirt and grime gets into the knife and it makes the deploying mechanism not so smooth. So periodically you want to take it apart, clean it, grease it, and this happens for all knives. Even Microtech, Benchmade, they don't want you to take it apart because you void the warranty. They want you to send it back to them and they will do it for you. But it's a pretty easy process. These knives are pretty robust. It's very simple mechanism inside, so you can do it yourself. So this is our model number MT3, TacKnives MT3. It's probably one of the most popular common model out there on Amazon, on different websites. And even though a lot of people have the same looks, the components inside, the blade, the body of the material could be different. So anyway, let's take this knife apart. So first, you want to unscrew the nut here that holds on to the pocket clip, and then you want to take apart these Torx screws. For this knife, it uses a T10, but most common from my experience is T6. I use T6 most often. So before you take it apart, you want the knife to be out. Because there's a locking mechanism inside, and when the knife is not out and you open it, it could cause the knife to jump forward. So anyway, let's take these screws apart. You want to make sure, like all things with screw, I'm not sure what to say, but you want to make sure that you screw and unscrew evenly. So you first unscrew all of it evenly, and then you just take it apart. Let's see. So make sure you don't lose these screws. So then when it's apart, you simply lift these up, and now you see the inside mechanism of the OTF knife. And most OTF knives are going to be very similar, like this. You have a spring here, then you have this CNC plate that kind of that's two I don't know what you call it, I guess edges here that that unlocks and locks the mechanism that locks the blade, and then you have the blade here. So right now the blade is locked from here. You can push it up and then the blade will come down. And similarly, when the blade comes back here, this spring right here pushes this out and locks the blade. So then push this down, you can push the blade out. So like I was explaining earlier, after some uses, OTF knife accumulates dirt and grime really well, especially in these grooves when the knife brings it back in. So then you really want to make sure it's clean, it's smooth, it's well oiled. And the higher quality knives that have less play meaning the wiggle in the blade. The wiggle in the blade when it's in the track. that will get stuck even easier, and then it will inhibit the deployment and the retracting action. So you take it apart and you will wipe the blade down. You will try to clean the inside. You can use rubbing alcohol or degreaser or whatever you like to use. These are just in this case, this is just zinc alloy. And clean it, and then grease it up with gun oil. I think that's the best. And then put it back. So now we're gonna put back the knife. So when assembling an OTF knife, you wanna start with the blade halfway, not engaging any of these levers, right? And then you want to put this plate on. So also this not engage right in the middle as well. You can see as I move this is moving the mechanism that's unlocking. So you want to put the lever back like that. Oh, sorry, I forgot I said. You're gonna put the spring on. So the spring, if you look carefully, you can see that one side is bigger and the other side is smaller. Make sure the bigger side is in the back and the smaller side is to catch this little thing right here. So put the spring on the groove, and depending on the strength of the spring, this is sometimes a little bit hard, and it helps you use your tool from earlier. Just get it caught in the groove here. Now you just put the spring back on. Make sure it's in the lever, and you want to put the other plate back on. There you go. Now, like I was saying earlier, like all things, you want to screw it back up with even pressure. So let's make sure all the screws are on. So put it back on. So you don't have to tighten the screws all the way, and it's better you don't. You want to do it just slightly tight. And then once it's slightly tight, you want to make sure that your blade is in the groove, it's engaged, everything. So engage the blade. Now the blade is engaged with the spring. Make sure everything is good. Then you want to tighten the screws now, again, evenly. So these are CNC in a way that's the tolerance is very low. So then you want to, when you tighten one side more than the other, it will bend the metal, and sometimes it will just cause problems in the deployment, well, the double action. So then now they're all tight. Now, retract the blade, and then you can put the pocket clip back on. So this can go both sides. It just kind of depends on your preference. I like it on my like on the left side of the knife because I'm right-handed, and I put it in my right pocket. Here you go. Just screw this guy back on. This is the window breaker, the emergency window breaker. Make sure this is tight. There you go. So yeah, if you have an OTF knife, this cleaning and maintaining, it's pretty important. Like I said, it doesn't matter the price range and the quality of the knives, they all get dirty when used a lot, especially when people use to cut boxes, the tape, the sticky stuff gets on the blade and really mess up the deployment action. So after you clean it, it's good to go. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Visit us at TacKnivesUSA.com.